Thank you. The chair recognizes the gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Johnson, I'm interested in pursuing that a little bit. You know, the chairman titled this hearing, "Free Speech, the Biden Administration's Chilling of Parents' Fundamental Rights." And of course, talking about the Attorney General's memo, folks on the other side of the aisle have been interested in talking about what you describe as book bans and educational gag orders. I just wonder, and of course you're free to put anything you want to in your testimony, but did you consider that the subject, the Attorney General's memo, well, let me ask you this way, did PEN America condemn the Attorney General's memo?
We did not put out a statement during the time of the memo, no, sir.
So, and you've said, you know, you were very carefully, and you're a lawyer, a First Amendment lawyer, and you know this stuff. You laid out earlier what the First Amendment doesn't protect if there's actual and incitement of imminent violence.
Yes, sir.
And so, is it a matter of concern to you whether the Attorney General of the United States, the highest law enforcement officer, issued a memorandum for action in every judicial district in the country concerning activism relating to school boards? I mean, it matters a great deal, doesn't it? Whether there was a sufficient factual predicate of actual threats or incitement of violence, as opposed to that even rambunctious advocacy that you made reference to.
I think it's critically important that people have a right to speak out, and I do believe that. We would oppose efforts to restrict protected speech, absolutely.
So why do you deem that subject unworthy of comment?
I can't speak to what.
Did you engage in a wide gamut of free expression issues, is what your testimony says. That's what you do. And here the highest law enforcement officer in the country did something that can only be described as chilling. And what it appeared to me when I went through every footnote in that NSAB letter that the Attorney General relied upon, I couldn't find. There were like maybe 2 across the country acts involving busting a door in one case. I didn't find, and a lot of these responses coming back from United States attorneys in all these meetings that they summoned said there weren't any. Then the local officers, when they got in touch with them, said, you guys are doing something you have no business doing. Is that not a matter of concern to you as an advocate for free expression?
I appreciate the question, sir, and I'm happy to go back and look at it. I cannot tell you at this moment why.
So for whatever reason, it didn't arise to a level of significance for you. Not enough to talk about in your testimony anyway, right?
No, sir, I wouldn't put it that way. I would put it in the way that we are really focused on ensuring that people do have the right to access, and we have been focused, as you know, and as my testimony reflects, about this wave of censorship that's happening at the state and local level. It does not mean we don't care, sir.
All right.
But
How
I
about
appreciate
this
the question.
Have you read the Twitter files?
I'm sorry?
Have you read the Twitter files? Not familiar with that? You know about Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger and the others?
Okay, I'm sorry.
They've issued they describe the use of the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, the Cyber Infrastructure and Security Agency, the Global Engagement Center at the State Department, the ODNI, the CIA, to act directly with social media platforms and through private so-called disinformation researchers. I noticed on PEN America's website, you guys talk a lot about reacting to disinformation. On the pretext of reacting to disinformation, they got with social media companies, they took down millions of social media posts. And then they used things like Hamilton 68 that purported to tie them to Russia. It was all BS. Is that not a matter of concern to you?
Sir, I can go back and take a look at what we've actually done.
I mean, that's extraordinary. That's what I'm saying. So, and I think what's interesting in this, where we are in this, the subcommittee on weaponization, which is not this committee, is that you took pains to say that your organization, it doesn't care about which side of the aisle it's on, that the free expression ought to be of concern to everybody. We're talking about, as one witness called it, the largest censorship exercise in the history of the United States government. And that wasn't the subject that you chose to talk about either. Are you a partisan, or are you just interested in free expression on, across the political spectrum?
Sir, we are a nonpartisan organization, and we have engaged in a lot of defense of people from both sides of the aisle, from our campus free speech to looking at protest rights. We are definitely engaged on this from a nonpartisan perspective. I do appreciate the question. I'm more than happy to take a look and respond for the record, but at this point, I just don't have the response on those particular, on the Twitter files right now.
I hope we can all get together, because I think they're really important issues, and they don't matter what your party is. And I hope we'll cover a lot of ground on those subjects. Mr. Chairman, my time's expired.
Thank you. Chair recognizes.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so every time I put out a video, you can know about it. It'll come up in your feed. Hit that like button if you liked it. And be positive. Peace.